Today is a sad day, and although it didn't happen today, we did lose our clownfish. And as you guys can see to my right, the 38 gallon looks like a complete mess. And I'm gonna give you guys a full explanation on what happened, but essentially, we're kind of in a race to get the tank corrected, and with everything that happened, we did lose the clownfish. So those were the only two fish we had in any of our aquariums. I had one of them for going on like 40 years, and then the other one I had for about 3 years. So the female I had for 4 years, the male I had for about 3. They did come down from Northern California to Southern California with me, which was pretty crazy because they made that trip on like a 12-hour car ride. So yeah, it's just a big bummer to lose any pet, honestly, but it's a different kind of loss this time. For some reason, it feels a little bit harder than any like other aquarium loss that I've had for some reason. So I don't know, it's been a couple days, so I've been able to like sit on it. This also happened at the worst time. It's finals week next week and just super busy, but we have to get at it today. I did a water change on it when everything first happened. Long story short, it was a bacterial bloom. So it's, you know, the tank is struggling right now. So we're gonna try to do another water change on it later today when I get some more salt water. But right now we need to get our protein skimmer out, get that in the tank so that we can get the water skimmed, and then hopefully some more aeration going on in the water, because with the bacterial bloom, I think what took out the clownfish was the lack of oxygen. So that's what we need to do today, so let's do it. I don't think anyone really expects these things to happen. I did not see it coming whatsoever. I'm at my apartment about 3 or 4 days out of the week, and then the other half I'm at my girlfriend's. So when this happened, it happened in about 24 hours for the bacterial bloom to take out the fish. And when I got here, the first thing I did was take out some of the coral from the 38 gallon and put it into the 20 gallon. We put in the LPS that was from the 38 gallon, so the Duncan and the green bubble up there, and then we took out the green and like bluish tips toadstool, but everything else that's in the 30 gallons pretty much attached to rocks. I can take out those two in the back, but yeah, I don't know, everything's looking pretty bad right now. This guy started to open up today just a little bit, as well as the polyps above it, but yeah, it's looking like a mess right now. We haven't cleaned the tank yet, but we got the skimmer on there, and we initially tried to put it in the all-in-one chamber over here, and it did fit in this middle compartment, but it's got these weird suction cups on the back, and it's not like a clip that you hang it on. So when I tried to push in the suction cups, I couldn't. I didn't have enough space to like get enough force behind it, so it kept moving and bobbing around. So we had to put it in the display, and this isn't kind of like the permanent long-term goal for a protein skimmer for this tank. No hate against Fluval, but I hate this protein skimmer. I've had it for probably like close to a year now, and I ran it for probably a month, and I haven't used it since. It works and it skims, but the mounting of it and just how big and clunky it is, I just don't like it. It's not good for an all-in-one setup, and I feel like this is a nano-sized skimmer which should be built for all-in-ones, and it's just not practical. So we have it in the display right now. I'm gonna clean the glass and show you guys what it looks like after. But for right now, this is going to get us some air and oxygen into the water, as well as skim out some of the gunk that's in the water column as well. So it's gonna do us some good, but it looks pretty ugly right now. It's been about an hour since we placed the skimmer inside of the tank, and as you guys can see, or you might be able to see, the tank is a lot cleaner than before. And as I'm recording this video, I'm kind of coming to light with a few things and realizing that I probably should have had the skimmer in there before, and I should have added it sooner when I experienced the bacterial bloom. And I didn't realize that it would clean up the tank this much, and how effective a skimmer really is. Now, does this mean we're gonna be putting a skimmer in the 20 gallon? I'm not sure. We have the 30 gallon behind me as well, which we're gonna set up here in a couple of months. But the 20 gallon, as you guys can see, is starting to get kind of packed full of coral, at least from the transfer of the 38 gallon, and we got the mangroves in there as well. So I'm not sure if we should add a skimmer to this tank just as a precautionary measure. The corals that I did transfer out of the 38 gallon and into the 20 gallon are starting to do good. The green bubbles finally opened up and looking good. And the Duncan is slowly opening up and starting to look good as well. And lucky enough, the toadstool is good. It started to shed kind of like that layer that softies will do, but the polyps are out and the colors look good, so I think these are saved. So what are we going to do with this tank? Well, we have to let the bacterial bloom kind of ride out. And now that we have the skimmer in there, we should be able to get a lot of these particulates out of the water column. And again, I'm going to get some more salt water, I think tomorrow, but I need to do a pretty hefty water change on this tank as well. You guys might be wondering if we are going to get any more fish. I don't think so until we move and set this tank up again. And I may restart this aquarium depending on how it rides out in the next few months. But if it still continues to give us some problems, we may need to transfer the coral over and begin the cycling process again for this tank. But as of now, we're not going to get any more fish. It's just going to stay coral only for now until we move. And can really spend a lot of time in dialing this thing in. As you guys can see here, the protein skimmer is starting to collect a good amount of foam. So it is working and it's cleaning up the water, seems like by the hour. To finish this video off, I'm gonna try to make it somewhat positive and be informative. If you guys experience a bacterial bloom, you'll be able to know how to react and know what to do when it happens or if it happens. To start off, let's go ahead and talk about what a bacterial bloom is and then how you can react or should react if it happens. So bacterial blooms typically come with newer tanks when you first start the cycling process. But if you have an established aquarium, it can also come when you disturb the sand bed or there is just an excess of nutrients in your water. And I think that's what happened with my tank. I'm still not 100% sure what caused the bloom. No fish died before the pair of clownfish, and I didn't see any large snails or anything that turned up dead as well. So I don't know what passed away or what caused this excess nutrients in the tank. But regardless of how it happens, the first thing you want to do is get as much aeration and oxygen into the tank as you can, especially if you have a lot of fish in the aquarium. You're going to want to put some sort of air stone or a protein skimmer to get oxygen in the water column. And this is because when you've got a lot of bacteria, they're going to be taking up that oxygen and there's going to be competition between that bacteria and the fish. So you need to give them the upper hand and get them some more oxygen in the tank because the bacteria is going to take what's already in there. If you have a second tank, another step I would recommend is to transfer over any fish or coral to try and save them. Put them into an established aquarium where they will be safe and healthy. And the last step is to figure out what the source of the excess of nutrients was. And if you need to do a water change to get that nutrients out of there, or if it was a dead fish or anything like that, you need to go in there and extract it. Again, I did not see this coming and I was completely devastated when I found out. I'm not sure what I could have done to take precautionary measures aside from just running a protein skimmer in my tank. What caused the actual bacteria bloom, I have no idea what it was. We're gonna keep working on the 38 gallon to try to get it cleaned up, but I think the protein skimmer is helping out big time. I know it's not the kind of video that you guys wanna see, and it's definitely not the kind that I wanted to make, but it is part of the hobby. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave it down below, or you can send me a direct message to my Instagram. The link is in the description below as well. But with all of that being said, I will be sure to catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.